create a new character. Now, all of you could follow along because you guys already know all the basics. As a quick reminder, I'll just get my spotlight. Oops, come here, you. Here, of course, is the stage with the cat, and then the characters are down here. We have one character, the cat. Yeah, Graham, you have a question?
How do you get a new screen? Oh, got it.
Yeah, create, remember?
Oh, great. I just realized I pushed create. Thanks.
Okay. And then, of course, all the commands are off here on the left, all the puzzle pieces where you got motion, and then the purple ones are looks, and all the different commands. We're going to start off again by creating a brand new character. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop apples. And you'll see why it's important because you could imagine an airplane dropping something or a parachute is coming out of a plane, something falling. So I'm going to delete the cat because I don't want to use the cat. I'm going to grab an apple. So again, choose a sprite, bottom right, and I'm choosing an apple, which happens to be on the top row, fifth one over. I'm just going to select the apple. And what I want the apple to do is I want him to start somewhere at the top, and I want him to fall at random. That way we don't know exactly when he's falling. And then we're going to get something to catch it. We're going to catch it in the ball. So we're going to make the apple fall. So we got to tell the apple to start off. So you guys following along? Let me know if I go too fast. So let me zoom in a little bit more. So again, you always start your programs with the starting flag, when green flag clicked. And what I want to do is I want to forever drop an apple. So we need the forever loop. And what we want to do is go to a spot, let's say the very top. And let me just grab the grid. You guys don't have to, but I'll grab the grid just as a reminder. Oops. So now remember your grid locations. The dead center is known as 0. 0 is dead center. So as you go to the right, you're going in the X direction. You go to the left, it's the minus X direction. Up is Y, down is minus Y. So I want them to start somewhere near the top, and then I want them to drop. So I'm going to start off a motion to go to the very top. I'm going to start them at the center, 0, 0, 0, and then the top, let's say the top is really 180. So I'm actually going to put 180. So that's the very, very top. You'll always go there at the beginning. And just for now, I just want to put a little wait state. Then I'm going to wait for a second. And then next, I want them to fall. So you guys remember how to make them fall? It's the Y direction. So minus Y. So I need to change. So I'm grabbing the blue puzzle piece. It's toward the bottom of the blue motion ones. Change Y by, and I'm going to put in minus 10. But again, 10 only goes a certain distance. It's only going to drop minus 10. And if you remember, all of the numbers here, it's 180 up, 180 down. So from the very top to the very bottom is 360 little dots all the way from the very top to the very bottom. So I'm starting at the very top at 180, going all the way down to 0, and then another minus 180, which is a total of 360. You guys follow so far? So Graham, you might be getting lost on the math, but I'm sure you other guys, you're okay with that? So how many times do I have to go minus 10 to hit the bottom? That's a question, open question. Anyone want to volunteer? Raise your hand or unmute. You want to volunteer and tell me how many times it takes? Yeah, Graham, how many times does it take to hit the bottom?
Uh, 4.
Now remember there's 360 little dots all the way down. And I'm going to go minus 10 each time. So how many tens go into 360? That's really the question. Joshua, you got your hand up. Go ahead and unmute if you know the answer.
6.
6? Is that what you said?
36.
36, you're right. Because it'll take 36 times. So what we want to do, you got that, Graham? The reason is I'm going to grab the repeat cycle and I'm going to repeat
I've
this.
got exactly what you have.
Okay. So I'm going to put in the repeat 36 times. And then wait 1 second. And then go back. It goes back to the top, waits a second, and then goes down and repeats 36 times. So far, so good. So now if I run this, all of you should have something like this on your screen. When you hit the green flag forever, go to the top, wait a second, and then fall down to the bottom. So what'll happen if I click the green flag, you should see this. Falls down to the bottom, waits a second. You all have something like that? Looks like Graham, you looking at the code? Now, I said it's kind of boring because you'll always know where to catch it if it falls straight down in the middle every time. I want it to fall at random times. Because that way you'll never know when the apple's falling. So I'm going to go to the green operators puzzle pieces. So that's here on the far left, operators. And it actually has something called pick random, which means random numbers. Now I'm going to pick numbers and I'm going to replace, it always starts Y 180, which is at the very top. As you can see, the apple always starts right there. I want it to start anywhere along here. So if I grab pick random, and I'm going to put it, you notice it'll highlight inside the 180. And now I'm going to stop it because it's going to get confused. So I'll hit the stop sign. Anyone want to tell me what are the random numbers I need to pick from where to where? So it'll drop anywhere from the top. Any guesses? Open question again. Cameron, Joshua, Graham? How can I make the apple drop anywhere from the top? I'll give you a hint. Along the, oops, I already messed up. It's actually the x-axis, not the y-axis, because I'm going left and right. Anywhere from left to right, if the far left is this point here and the far right is that point there, let me zoom out. What's the x point from here to the x point there? How about you, Cameron? I think you know the answer.
I don't know.
No? How about Joshua? Rowan? Somebody? Okay. No one's answering. I'll give you the answer then. If you notice, the apple, oops, sure he stopped. If I grab the apple, I can't grab it here. Let me just do this. Get the little drawing thing. You have your apple, and I want him to start here every time, and that's what he's been doing. But I want him to start anywhere along the top, going left, or anywhere from the top, going right. So if you look at this, the x direction is 200 minus 240 to the left, to plus 240 on the right. So now, oops, if I put here on the x direction, I said it's minus 240, and anywhere to the far right would be a positive 240. So now if I run it again, you'll notice the apple will fall randomly. And we use this command, but I don't know if you remember, we used this command before, random. But now I also know if I time it right, it's every second. So it's kind of easy. I know every second it'll fall somewhere on the screen, but I want to confuse myself because, or a player who wants to play with this, and I just want them to go pick a random time of 1 second to say 5 seconds. I think if I put 1.0 to 5.0, it'll actually go down to the 10th of a second. So randomly, if I do this, you'll now notice the apple will fall somewhere. And then it waits 1 to 5 seconds. But you can kind of see when it first starts, you can see where it's about to fall. So again, you know where it is, but I now want to hide it first. What I want to do is when it's done dropping, I'm going to change the looks and hide. So after it gets to the bottom, hide, and then when it starts over, show. So now if we run it, oops, I got to do hide to begin with. Sorry, I put the hide in the wrong place. Let's see, hides. Here we go. When he first starts, hide. In other words, forever, go to this random position. I mixed them up. Hide first. There we go. Hide first, go to the position, wait, then show yourself and fall. So now we should be able to see it at random. We don't know where it is, and suddenly, come on, somewhere, there it goes. Within 1 to 5 seconds, it'll fall. So we don't know where exactly and when exactly it'll fall. It could be anywhere. There, it's on the other side. And of course, we could speed up the time. Instead of every 5 seconds, let's make it 4 seconds. We can see it falling. Now I said we're going to do catching, so let's leave this alone for now, and let's add a new character. So if you go down to bottom, shoot bottom right, we're going to select the sprite. This type, I'm going to select the bowl. You see the bowl here? I'm going to go right here and select the bowl. You can select what you want, but for now I'm just going to select the bowl to catch it with. Now, if you remember, we've done this before when we were doing the paddle. So I'm just going to quickly build the same thing we've done before with the paddle. I could just say when right arrows click, do something, but remember that was kind of jagged, and I want to have a nice smooth action of it moving back and forth. I want it to always start, let's say right around here. So that's about, let's always start the bowl starting right about here. So when I go to motion, yeah, Graham.
I don't have the bowl.
Oh, you could grab anything you want, but let me show you where it is again. Um,
I have a button.
Okay, I'll go back to choosing sprites. If you go into search, just
Yeah.
type bowl. So you should see a bowl if you type search for a bowl, and you should be able to find the bowl. BOWL. You see it? So let's go
Oh,
back. Again, I'll go down to choose sprite, and then just search for bowl, and then you can grab a bowl. Once you have a bowl, I'm just going to make a quick thing, and I'll help you guys out if you get lost. I just forever want to check if I'm using the key. Which key do I like? I always like using sensing. Sense for key press. Oops, not touching. Wrong one. Where is it? Here it is. Key space. Here it is. Key space. If key right arrow is pressed, then I want it to move X direction. I want it to go to the right. So that's X. So I'm going to do change X by 10. And that'll, every time I hit the right arrow, it'll go to the right 10 spaces. And it'll keep doing that. Now, if you remember that trick, if I click, I want to do this exactly the same thing of this entire if statement, but going to the left. So I'm going to duplicate it. That's right mouse click, duplicate, put it in. And now I want it to go change Y by -10. Oh, excuse me. Wrong
great.
way. Sorry. My fault. Should have left it in there. Change X by -10 because again, X on the screen minus X is this to the left, while plus X goes to the right. I'll let you guys catch up. Let me say hello to Joshua. Hey, Joshua, I haven't heard from you. You want to say hello?
Yeah. Hi.
How's it going, Joshua? Have you been following?
Yeah,
I noticed you haven't said anything.
I am following.
Okay, so you're good. So yeah,
Yeah.
if you want to keep your mic off and your video off, that's okay. Just give me a thumbs up or raise your hand if you need something. Okay, Joshua? Give me a thumbs up if you hear me. Good. All right. So I'm assuming all of you have something like this now, or actually for this bowl, I'd like you to have exactly these things. First, start off by green flag, and then go to, and this time always go to 130, 130, which is about where the bowl is now, minus 130 and minus 130. That's this lower part right here. It's minus 130 this way, X, and then Y, it's minus 130 that way. And then forever, I want to forever keep doing all of this. And that all of this is if the right arrow key is pressed, change X by, and the X is going to the right, by 10. If the, oh, I made a mistake, should be left arrow is pressed, then I want it to go to left. So again, X positive is right, X negative is left. So I'm going to clear the screen and let's just run it and see what happens. Now, if I run it, click the green flag, at random, the apple drops. And if I use the left and right arrow keys, I can hold it down, it smoothly moves left and right. And just like the paddle we did before, it's a similar idea. That's what we've done here with the bowl. Yeah, Graham.
Can you go back? I only have one green flag.
Okay, are you talking about the bowl
Green
or
flag
the
click
apple?
to go to x minus 130 minus y minus 130
Yep.
and forever if key space paused then.
Okay, key, right arrow pressed. And again, you get that from sensing. It's a light blue color. There's a darker blue and a light blue. So under sensing, you're sensing if a key is pressed. In this case, it's right here. Key space pressed, and then you could
That's what I have.
choose.
I have it
Got
on
it?
if key.
Okay. And then again, when you're using change X by +10, you're going to the right. In this case, you're using here, left arrow to go a -10. It'll go that way.
Where? Wait. Oh, got it.
Cool. So now again, if you guys run it, you should see something like this. Where again, the apple, we don't know exactly when and where it's going to fall. So let me change over, stop this, and we'll look at the apple. The apple code just moves along. But now we need to sense if the apple and the bowl are in contact. And then we could actually set a score. Like every time we catch it, we could set the score. So let's first off make a bit of code to sense if the apple is being caught by the bowl. So here's the apple code.
Go back
Remember,
to the bowl.
okay, there's the bowl code, Graham.
Okay.
And now I'm going to go back to the apple code. So I'm going to click on the apple character. And this is the random dropping of the apple. And now we need to add a section or another bit of code that when you start this thing, let's sense if the bowl is touching the apple. Make sense so far? Give me a thumbs up. Joshua, you good? Thumbs up. Cameron, thumbs up. Rowan, yeah, I've got a thumbs up. Joshua, good. Okay, everyone's good. So now I want to sense if, so if I'm touching something. So we go to control again. So if, and I'm going to start building off to the side. I'm going to leave this alone for now, but we're going to add this to it. We want to sense if touching, and I'm going to change touching mouse pointer to bowl. So if we're touching the bowl, I want it to do something. What do I want it to do? Well, we can just make it disappear when it touches the bowl. So let's just do that for now. So I'm going to hide it. All right. But like I said, we wanted to check if there's a score. So every time it touches the bowl, I want it to disappear, but I want to add a score. So you guys remember how to build a score? Anyone? Want to raise your hand and volunteer how to do that? Remember how? What do I need to do to put a score in? Come on, guys. We did this before. Cameron, Joshua, Rowan, all of you, Graham, we've done all this before. Do you remember which one? What do I need to put a score on?
Variables?
That's right. You got it, Cameron. So you go to variables, and my variable, I don't want it to be called my variable. I'm going to rename it by right-clicking and rename the variable to be score. I'm going to click OK. I'll do that again. So hover over the word score, or it says my variable, If I use the right mouse button, not the left, the right one, it'll say rename. And I can rename the variable to be SCORE. Say OK. And if you notice just to the left of the score, let me grab a little spotlight. Score, you'll see there's a little tick box. So if I tick that little tick box, you'll see now that the score appears in the upper left. Follow so far? So now, when we first start this program, the very first, yeah, Graham. Up. You have to unmute. There you go. Unmute. Yeah, Graham.
I'm stuck on the bowl. I didn't finish the bowl yet, the bowl coding.
Okay. So hold on, Graham. Let me just finish this, and then we'll go back to the bowl.
Okay.
Are you on the Apple one yet? Can you switch to the Apple for now, and then we'll go back to the bowl?
Okay. Yeah, I've got exactly what you have on the Apple.
Okay, good. And did you put a score in yet?
Not yet.
So go to the
Well,
variables.
I don't see score.
Well, that's just it. You have to create a variable. So what that is that orange dot on the bottom, or toward the bottom, in the middle of the screen on the far left. It says variables. It's orange.
Or yeah, I pressed I pressed
Okay.
the one.
And now make sure you hover over, it should say my variable. Mine says score already, but if you hover over the one that says my variable, it should turn into a hand.
Oh,
Then use the right mouse button, and now you can rename that variable to score.
Okay. Let's see.
And all you other guys, when you start a brand new game, what score do you want to start on? Personally, I like it to start at 0. That means there's no score. So what I did is I grabbed,
Okay, I got it exactly what you have now.
okay, good. So set score to 0. You grab this one, Graham, put it at the very beginning. Because at the very beginning, you want to start your game where the score is 0. But every time you touch the ball, so every time you touch the ball, you hide it, but you also want to do something else. You want to change the score by adding 1. So I'm going to add +1. This says 1, but that means it's +1. I could actually, every time I hit the ball, I could be -1. But for now, I'll just say +1. So every time you touch the ball, the score will increase by 1, then it'll disappear. Now, where does this go in this code? Open question for the floor. Where do you think I should put this? Cameron?
I had a different question because whenever my apple touches the ball, it still adds 1 to the score. It doesn't hide it though.
Oh. Oh, I know what's happening. We're almost there. We'll do one more thing. To answer your question, I'll answer your question right now, Cameron.
Okay.
Go to motion.
Okay.
And what you want to do, what happens is it touches the ball, but it's still touching the ball. So it's stuck in that part of the loop. What we want to do is set Y. So you grab it to motion. And everyone should do this. Grab your blue motion, Graham. Go to set Y. And now I'm going to set Y to 180. And then hide it. What happens is that way the score doesn't keep running up and up and up because it keeps going, because it's actually touching it. So I'm assuming, Cameron, you already stuck it in your loop. That's how you knew that. So where did you stick this if, Cameron? Where does it go inside here?
I don't know if I put it in the right place, but I just stuck it at the bottom. I don't know if I was supposed to do that.
Oh, that's
Okay.
the other reason yours did that.
Okay.
In other words, put it inside the repeat loop because that's where it's falling. Remember, 36 times it's moving 10 at a time. But right before it gets to the bottom, I want to touch it. So if it hits the bottom, or touches the ball, sorry, change score by 1, hide it back on the very top, and then repeat the whole loop. So if you guys have gotten this far, I'm gonna start it again. Let's try it. So I'm gonna have my score went up by 1 because I caught it. Oh, caught it again, 2. Now if I leave it aside and I miss it, the score doesn't increase. And every time the bowl and the apple touch each other, or the apple falls in the bowl, I get a score increase. Does everyone, give me a thumbs up if everyone has this. Okay, Rowan, give me a thumb, or Cameron, good. Joshua, how you doing, Graham? You got this? So now basically you have a catching game. Now here's where I'm going to let you guys use your own imagination. I'm going to stop this for a second. Everyone have something like that running so everyone else can see what you're up to? Then explain what you're doing?
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. You should be able to share your screen. Yeah, but I know if it's not finished, that's okay. But just maybe just you could show what you're up, where you are. You said you had different size scores or something. That's a big ball. Now, if you want to make it harder, make the ball tiny. Every time he drops a bone and I catch it in the bowl, I get 5 points. But if I miss the bone, I lose 1 point. It hits the ground. And of course, let me see, I got 5 points again for catching the bone. But if I accidentally catch the chocolate, like there, you'll see that I lose 5 points. So you gain points by catching the bone, 5. You lose points, and you get to watch the dog get sick and throw up. And of course, if you miss the bone completely, it just hits the ground, but it senses, in this case, the brown bottom, and it shows if you lose a point. Okay, could just do a quick explanation again. So you have rock, apple, and what's the yellow apple?
The
You get
golden
more
apple.
points? Your golden apple.
The golden apple, I think it waits 15 seconds before appearing again. So, yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I'm gonna stop
all right.
sharing.
And the other thing you may want to do is make the apple fall faster, like the higher point ones. To make it fall faster, you just have to change the steps and the repeat loop.
Okay.
And if you make the steps bigger and the repeats less, then it'll look like it'll go faster.